Hi YouTube, my name is Koot, and in this tutorial we're going to talk about enemies. So of course, now that we can shoot, we need something to shoot, and in our case it's going to be asteroids. Before going to our tutorial, let's quickly talk about the home task. So we needed to change +4 into a variable. What I'll do, I'll just write rot equals random range from 3 to 4 in our create event, and then change 4 into rot. And that's going to add a specific value to our rotation, which is going to be different every time. It's going to be from 3 to 4, and it's going to be stored in the variable called rot. And that's all. And now let's go back to our new tutorial. We need to create a new sprite, sp_fo, edit sprite, and it's going to be a picture of 16 pixels high and 16 pixels wide. Make sure to make 2 different pictures, and don't try to do anything fancy. This is not the tutorial series where we're talking about game design, so just make a loose sprite and we'll continue from here. Alright, so here are the 2 sprites that I'm going to use, and now let's press center and proceed to making an object. We create a new object and call it obj_fo. And of course assign a sprite. We add an event create and drag in execute code. Here we need to write HP equals 2, that's going to be health of our asteroid, the amount of times we have to hit it in order to destroy it. We can't use health because it's a built-in GameMaker value, and that's not something that we want to use. Now we're going to write image speed equals 0 and image number equals choose 0 or 1. So basically choose makes a choice from the variables which you write down into the brackets, and in this case it's going to be either 0 or 1, so the chance is 50%. And what it does is, because of our image speed is going to be 0, so our image is not going to animate like that, the GameMaker will choose just one picture for us and it will not animate it. And we need vertical speed, which is equal to random range, that's from 3 to 4. And random range is something that chooses a random number from the range which you write down here. And the difference between irandom and random is that random range can give you real numbers like 0.2, 0.1 and others, and irandom gives you values like 1, 2, 3, 4, basically integer values. Now we need to go to our step event and drag in execute code and write down movement. Here we're going to add our vertical speeds to the Y position. That's going to move our asteroid down. Also we need to add an animation, which is going to be, I forgot, add rot equals random range from 2 to 4 and multiplied by choose 1 or -1. And this way, if we get for example 3, there's a 50% chance that it's going to rotate counterclockwise instead of clockwise, or vice versa. So now we write down image angle plus equals rotation. And now some number is going to be added to our image angle and you will see what will happen. And another thing that we have to deal with is death. So basically if our HP is less or equal to 0, then we need to destroy our instance. Destroy. Yeah, that's almost all that we need to do at the moment. Also, in order to not make our space really cluttered and to reduce the lags, we need to destroy our bullet if y is greater than room height plus 32. So if our object is lower than the lowest point of our room, then we should destroy it. And also we give 32 points so that it doesn't destroy it while we can still see it. Now let's make something that's going to spawn our foes. and it's going to be obj_spawner. In order to make it more or less visible, like look at that, when we don't have a sprite, that's how it's going to look, a question mark. Let's make something bigger, like 32 by 32. Choose a nice color that's going to be seen. In my case it's going to be purple, and just make a simple circle just so that we can see what's going on. Yeah, it's going to be spr_spawner. And now we should assign this sprite to our obj_spawner, and that's how it's going to look. It's much better. You won't see it in the game because we need to remove the stick from near visible and add a create event. Here we're going to write cooldown equals random range from 30 to 40, and with this cooldown we go to the step event, drag in execute code, and we'll need to spawn false. So we write down if cooldown is bigger than 0, then we just skip the frame, we just reduce the cooldown, and else if it has reached the point of 0 or less, then we create an instance at point random range, or let's say random range 32 to room width minus 32. So it's going to choose a random number from this point right here to this point. And then we need to choose y where to spawn it. It's going to be minus 32 so that our object doesn't appear from nowhere on our room. And obj_4 is an object which we are going to spawn. And we need to reset the cooldown, so we write again cooldown equals a random range 30 to 40. Now don't forget to put an object spawner into the room, and let's run our game and see what happens. Alright, so we've been coding for quite a long time and we've made some mistakes, or I have made some mistakes. And that's about the time to show you how debug works. So we find this obj_foo and go into here. It says image number in create event. Yeah, image number is not the right variable and image index is the right one. So image number just shows you how many images you have in your sprite, so in our case it's 2. And image index is going to be the image which we can assign to our object. Next, in create event at line 4. Yes, symbol X is a symbol expected. Okay, so I don't know what does it want. Maybe it's fixed already. And create event malformed assign and state. Yeah, that's all connected with image number. And now we should go into our step event, and there is malformed if statement. So it is if y is bigger than room height plus 32, instance destroy. Yeah, that's what I forgot to do. And now we can run our game and hopefully everything is going to be alright. So we are almost done here, but we need to destroy the asteroid somehow. And that's what we are going to do. Let's go into obj_bullet, and we also need to destroy it when it goes out of the room. That's where we're going to use other outside room event. So it means that if our object is not seen in the room, instance destroy. So it's going to destroy itself when it flies out of the room. We couldn't do it with obj_foo because we spawn it already higher than 0, at the point which is higher than 0, and it would destroy itself when it's created. Now we should go to the add event button and add a collision event with obj_foo. And that's where we write other dot HP minus equals 1 and instant destroy. Instant destroy is going to destroy the bullet which collided with our foe, and other is something that's only used with collision events as far as I know, or in some other rare cases, but we're not going to talk about them now. And what it does, it chooses an object which you've collided with, exactly this one object, and the dot means that this is a variable of this object and we're going to do something with it. So we're going to reduce it by 1. We already have a check if HP is less or equal to 0, instant destroy. So everything is going to work just fine. And before launching our game again, I want to show you how GameMaker counts if we hit an object or if we don't. There is a button called Modify Mask, and here you see the hit mask of our bullet. It's basically a square, and a hit mask of our obj underscore foe. That's basically and what happens is when they collide with each other, those squares, then it counts as a collision event which we added to our obj underscore bullet. We could choose precise, so that it would be more natural, but that's not usually recommended to do because it causes some lags if you have a ton of objects, and in general players love it when you forgive them some minor mistakes. For example, if your bullet is like 1 pixel to the right of the object and it seemed like it hit the object but it didn't, they get pissed off. So you should rather give them a chance to like go somewhere near the object rather than making strict rules. Yeah, so that's how our game looks at the moment. Unfortunately, on my computer I can't run the recording software and show you the game at the same time because you see the lags it causes. So I can't really play this game so well. But okay, let's adjust our speed, maybe it's going to make the things easier. But in general, you'll see that it's looking quite well. So SPD is now equal to 8. And let's run our game again. In the next video, we're going to talk about different types of foes. We're going to make a bigger one, and we're going to create a mini, like, split thing where the big ones are going to be split into small ones, and this is going to add some live action to our game. And at the moment it's already somewhat good looking. It's something that you could show to a person and he could actually play it. It's not just shooting in the black background, so you have some objects to shoot, but of course there are many things to do yet. And at the moment, if you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell, my friends!